Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon to those of you that are overseas, and good evening as well. Thanks for joining us for today's webinar on Still Funked Up by Bad MRO Data. I'm Marty Gilbert, Vice President of Marketing for Utopia Global. And if at any time during the course of this webinar you have a question, please enter it into the question box in the side panel. We'll answer as many questions as time allows, and we'll follow up with you directly via email to answer any questions that don't get addressed during this session. This webinar will be recorded, and it will be available in the resources section of our website at www.utopiainc.com. Today's presenter is Mike Jordan, our Vice President of Enterprise Asset Management Practice. Mike has more than 30 years of experience in system engineering and program management associated with automation systems and asset-intensive industries. Over the course of his experience, he's had engagements with industry-leading engineering, procurement, construction companies, and plant management owners and operators. Mike's developed an interesting perspective on the challenges faced by asset lifecycle information management, and we look forward to sharing his background and information with you. With that, Mike, I'll turn it over to you. Welcome and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Marty. The business problem associated with asset master data quality is a very interesting one. Suncor was one of SAP's early adopters in the area of master data governance. Mario Abella of Suncor describes the business problem like this. Mario can go to any car dealer, purchase a new car, and then drive it down to any corner repair shop, and this organization is going to know what spark plugs to use in repairs, how often to change the oil. They'll know how to disassemble this to get to that. They'll know everything necessary to do maintenance and repair of his 30,000 part vehicle. Surprisingly, Suncor can buy $1 billion plant and not have that same level of insight as to critical maintenance and repairs. That's the business problem. The business case, spoken a bit more seriously, is this. Ensuring accurate, complete asset master data can have a direct impact on reducing environmental health and safety risk, improving operational performance, and maintaining regulatory compliance. That takes the form of several aspects of the business case. Maintenance inefficiency is the first. There was a study that has been widely published, the study by EPRI, Environmental Protection. No, oh, boy, shame we're doing this in real time, Marty. This would be an excellent do-over. The EPRI research did study of maintenance workers in North America and found that wrench time for the average maintenance worker was only 40%, meaning that the maintenance worker was actually able to do productive maintenance work only 40% of the time. The larger chunk of time that wasn't productive maintenance work was the time spent looking for the parts and information to accomplish his job. The next area of productivity possibility improvement is asset availability. When the maintenance worker is not able to get everything done, he'll most certainly be able to fix what's broken, but he may not get to the inspections. He may not get to the preventive maintenance, resulting in increased asset downtime. When he doesn't have the parts, the mean time to repair increases. So operational efficiency is another business problem associated with master data quality. MRO supply chain costs are another key area. In fact, we've had customers defend the entire business case for master data quality improvement based upon elimination of obsolete inventory. Environmental health and safety risk are another area for improvement. And frankly, as you've read, anytime you drill into the background of an incident where someone was injured or damage occurred as a result of an accident, what you find at some level is good-hearted, hardworking people making decisions based upon bad information. Auditability is another key area that really looks like regulatory compliance in many markets. And regardless of industry, regardless of area of the world, an organization will have 5% of their assets that are deemed safety critical. And common sense, if not regulation, would insist that you not just have stuff in your maintenance system. You would want to have master data with an audit trail that says, I know why this is right, I know where it came from, and I have confidence in this data that is critical to safety. Finally, operational excellence. All the things that we aspire to with reliability-centered maintenance, risk-based inspection, performance analytics fundamentally depends on a high degree of confidence in the master data that decisions are made upon. To speak to the business problem in a bit more technical detail, it begins with an as-built asset. The challenge, of course, is these assets change on a daily basis. They change due to break-fix maintenance. They change due to planned maintenance, due to shutdowns, turnarounds, outages, capital projects. The assets are ever-changing, and synchronization of that as-built asset with the data in the plant maintenance system is where it begins. You must have the data reflecting the as-built asset in order to do effective maintenance. The problem is complicated because the maintenance system is not the only system of record for that asset. There's key information in a plant engineering system, reliability systems, SCADA systems. If the organization is involved in transmission distribution, there will be a GIS system that has asset master data. And it's also critical that the maintenance organization thinks about the same asset as the engineering organization, the reliability, the operations team must all be focused on the same as-built asset in order to work efficiently. The problem's further complicated because there's also unstructured data associated with that asset. Not only is there data of a structured variety in the systems of record, there's data in the form of operations manuals, procedures, reliability, and warranty documents. These documents must also be synchronized. This is the business problem that is behind the challenge associated with asset master data. The business case is very compelling for improvement. SAP Value Engineering organization has done extensive benchmarks across a variety of asset-intensive industries and built business models that reflect the value of asset master data. If you haven't worked with SAP's Value Engineering organization, I would encourage you to do so. The Value Engineering team can do a quick set of interviews with your organization, can look at publicly available information about your company, and then based upon benchmarks of similar companies, can help you build a typical business case for master data improvement. The business savings are significant, as you see as the typical values here. And the value engineering team will build the business case based upon maintenance productivity, asset availability, MRO supply chain improvement, regulatory compliance, and in EH&S risk reduction. The SAP solution suite that addresses this problem is quite extensive. One of the real strengths of working in the SAP platform is there are a family of products that are purpose-built to work together to address this complex problem. you've heard conversation of SAP's Leonardo initiative, the Internet of Things. This is the opportunity to move together into one platform powered by HANA that allows you to stitch together the various systems of record into one platform for digitalization. When you do that, it is imperative that you have master data of a quality that allows you to accomplish the things that are possible. On the lower right, you see we begin with plant maintenance. Plant maintenance running in that digital core allows all things to happen associated with reliability-centered maintenance, risk-based inspections, all the things you would hope to accomplish in a top-tier organization. To the left of that, you see predictive maintenance is SAP's new solution for doing analytics associated with your master data. Above that, you see SAP's MRS solution for multi-resource scheduling. Now, with that core in place, the master data quality comes to bear. If the organization is working with GIS data, transmission, distribution, pipelines, then SAP's Geo-Enablement Framework brings the GIS data into the environment. SAP's Asset Intelligence Network brings the manufacturer catalogs online, allowing you to access external systems. SAP's OpenText Extended ECM product brings the unstructured data to bear, and then Master Data Governance provides that auditable platform that's workflow driven that facilitates the auditable process of getting the data right in a workflow driven approval based environment. SAP's newest offering in this arena is Asset Information Workbench. The Workbench is developed by Utopia and is moving toward admission on the SAP price list in Q4. Asset Information Workbench provides the staging area built upon MDG that allows you to visualize the data associated with assets across your multiple systems of record, so that you can synchronize data from a GIS system, from a plant engineering system, from a content management system with plant maintenance, visualize that master data in a hierarchy-based form so that you can do cut and paste, drag and drop, and manipulate that data among the systems of record, and then push those changes through master data governance in creating the change request to ensure that the data moves properly throughout the environment. For all the technology, what SAP is accomplished in this is an environment to get the data right and keep it right in a very simple fashion, so that the maintenance worker in the field can interact with a handheld device, with a Fiori screen, to say, here is what I need to accomplish my job, whether it's a part or a bit of information. That request then moves through an auditable process to perhaps a maintenance planner or an engineer that says, here's the activity to be accomplished, here's the material you need, and then into an approver, so that the right information is moved to the right individual through approved processes, even in the complex environment that has the multiple systems of record and structured, unstructured data, the complexities that we described earlier. This is what SAP has accomplished with these environments. The business case is compelling. I mentioned earlier the SAP value engineering team can work with your organization to build business cases, as you see here. This is a simple screen or a single page from a very rich analysis that was recently created for an SAP customer with the value engineering team. The benefits, as you see here, are significant. One-time benefits and annual benefits based upon these productivity increases. In our experience, the business case for master data quality improvement very seldom comes in with an ROI of over 1 year. So I would encourage you to engage the value engineering team, to build out the business case for master data quality, and then to engage the SAP organization to build a phased deployment approach that maps out your various systems of record, does the blueprinting between those systems, and builds a phased approach to deploy SAP solutions that improve your master data quality. With that, Marty, I'll turn it back to you to see if we have questions.
Okay, thanks, Mike. I do have a couple here that have come in. Let me give you the first one. What are the biggest risks that operators face when dealing with multiple systems of record?
Good question. This is the topic we were speaking to earlier. The types of problems that can happen with the reality of multiple systems of record is an operations organization can be viewing their master data associated with a piece of equipment in a electrical distribution organization. That might be a transformer in the field. The operations group believes that they have a certain transformer in place based upon what they see in their SCADA system or in their GIS system. If a maintenance organization is thinking of a different transformer or a different asset, the maintenance worker will turn up on site with the wrong spare parts, with the wrong task lists, or worse, if the operations system is incorrect, they can make inefficient energy routing decisions. So situations where the data is different in the operations system, in the maintenance system, in the engineering system will cause bad decisions to be made, which at the simplest case will result in inefficiency. In the worst case, it can result in an incident where people are hurt or property is damaged.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Here's another one that's come in. How can improved data quality and reliability help organizations obtain a competitive edge?
Organizations work to achieve top quartile performance, to make the highest availability of their assets, to have their assets working at the largest percentage of time at peak capacity. In asset-intensive industries, the productivity of the asset results in product flowing out the door and profitability. So it is the fine-tuning of the productivity of the assets that makes the business hum. That is best accomplished with the capabilities that SAP promotes, where you have all of the core systems integrated and working in concert in the digital core. And that fundamentally requires a best firsthand knowledge of your assets in place in order to get the best productive use of those assets.
Okay. Thanks, Mike. I've got one additional question here. Please explain how asset data quality impacts MRO supply chain costs.
Well, that's a good question. Well, there's an American term for the activity of a maintenance worker. When a maintenance worker doesn't know what activity is required of him, what's going to be done next. He's measured wholly on his ability to fix what's broken. The natural reaction is to tuck away one of every spare part you might possibly need. American maintenance guys call that rat holing. So you rat hole away one of every part you might possibly need because you don't know what's coming next and you have to be ready for anything. When you expand that activity across an organization, we frequently find enormous quantities of maintenance and repair spares. And without synchronization of spare parts to bills of material to equipments, quite often we'll find an organization with an expensive part on the shelf without knowing that the last equipment that was ever going to use that part has long since been retired. So an out of scale spare parts inventory is a key symptom of asset master data that's out of control, and maintenance workers working reactively, just tucking away things because they don't know what's required. So by synchronizing the spare parts with the bills of material, with the equipment, and then with a predictive maintenance plan, a maintenance worker or a warehouse foreman should be able to walk into any MRO repair store, pick up anything on the shelf and say, what is this used for and when will I need the next one? That's where we see the benefits of MRO supply chain savings for asset master data quality.
Great. Thanks, Mike. I don't see any other questions in the queue, but that doesn't mean we can't answer questions that you may have down the road. So I encourage all of you that should you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to email them to marketing@utopiainc.com, and we'll get back to you. We appreciate all of you taking part of your day to learn a bit more about this topic, and we appreciate your participation. Thank you so much. Take care.